I love the sound of Velcro in the morning. Hi, I'm Nick Bonner for TreeStuff.com, and these are the new Notch Ergo Spurs. These are replacing the steel geckos, which, if you've watched any of the spur review videos that I've done over the last few years, I have always said were the best pound for pound fighter or dollar for value spur on the market. So I'm not going to lie to you. These have some pretty big boots to fill. They come with a pair of leather spur guards here. These are nothing special. We'll just toss those aside. Nice sharp shank. We'll talk about that in a little bit. What I want to talk about are the new features here. So big wide Velcro, that's pretty standard. Like to see these markings on the inside. Even I can get confused about which side to put my spurs on. We've got really nice, dense, thermoformed padding here. And what's really cool, if you've ever owned a pair of spurs, you could like this from any brand. You probably know that there are some issues with making glue attach to this type of foam and this type of plastic. It's a mystery of science, guys. They can't figure it out. But luckily, we don't need to figure it out anymore, because what the team at Notch has done is put these little tabs in here. This isn't the easiest thing in the world to do, okay? But you remove this Velcro like this. And then here, you're going to be able to pull this tab and slide it through here like a toggle on both sides. And that is what is affixing the pad to the back of the shell. So there's no more glue. These are never going to rip out. These straps are bar tacked into the plastic, and they are a forever solution. What else is really nice is that because they've anchored these, they sheeted the pad up here. I know that I would always take the pad off a pair of spurs and immediately move it up an inch so that I didn't roll my calf over the edge here. They've done that for you. It's built in. The straps, the pads, they have fixed this problem. It's like the pyramids, basically, right, guys? But it took a long time, but I think it's solved. The next thing we're going to look at is the anchoring solution. And there are two things that jump out at me immediately when I see this, and that's the two-part adjustment. We've seen that on some other spurs. It's a major advancement. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But we also see that the strap is anchored underneath the spur shank, which is completely different, a reimagining of the anchoring system. And what I'm going to do here, this is the left spur. So I'll loosen this one all the way. You see there's a nice little keeper tab here that prevents that from coming out. You don't need to re-thread that all the time. And then I'm going to go ahead and loosen this back one up as well all the way. Now, this is a first-time adjustment. The beauty of this two-part strap system is that you don't need to do this every time. So I'll go ahead, put my boot in here, get the heel strap around my heel, and make sure that I've got this centered right underneath the heel of my boot, nice and locked in. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull this heel strap and get it set exactly how I want it, and pull it nice and tight and Velcro it down. I'm also going to go ahead and get this adjusted just to keep it in place for the rest of the adjustment process. I really like how the shell has these fair leads to keep the strap in place on both the front and the back. That's going to stop this strap from riding up. Now that I've got the back heel in place, I'll go ahead and tighten the front toe strap. You see, we've got the right amount of overlap. I don't have straps sticking out to here. I think those little features are really nice. But what's special here is that when I take this spur off, I'm going to undo the top strap here, undo the front strap, and leave this back heel strap in place. Next time I go to put the spur on, I stick my foot through, kick my heel in, and then tighten that front strap up. And it's going to have located everything exactly where I want it. The other big benefit of having this two-part strap, if you think about the way the old one-part strap worked, as your foot wanted to move forwards and backwards of the shank, that strap shared its circle with your calf and your ankle here. That allowed your foot to move forwards and backwards on the shank, or allowed the shank to move forwards and backwards on your foot. Because these are independent, the space that they occupy is fixed, so your boot can't move forwards and backwards. I'm going to go ahead and put the other spur on here, and we'll take these up and we'll put them on a tree, and I'll show you exactly how that works. We're out here on the tree with the Ergo climbers, and one of the things I noticed right away is how comfortable they are. You can see, if you look at my right foot here, how the shank is bent. And what that does is it translates your leg pressure, which is going straight down, into the spur at an angle that allows you to sit on the tree at this kind of normal angle that you would want to be at, but still keeps the spur facing the right direction. It also translates the pressure into the pad, which makes it really comfortable. And you notice that as I move around the tree here, and as I shift my foot up and down and I try to rotate it, it's not moving forwards to backwards on the shank because that strap is not shared around my entire foot. But I still have the mobility that I need. And because of the angle of the spurs, I'm able to sit comfortably even on this larger stem. Sometimes on larger stems, because the stem is pushing out, it wants to push your foot away from the spur. That's solved by the angle of both the shank that's bent in 3 dimensions and by the angle of the spur. Overall, I think these are really comfortable. They're a nice weight and they're a great price. They look cool and they've got all of the newest features that you would expect from a high quality spur. You can get the Notch Ergo Spurs at TreeStuff.com. Thanks for watching.